Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the room, good people. Where's my host? Shonda, we lost you.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
We
Folks, it's
can't see you. We have to see your lovely outfit. You can't be.
hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see folks coming in the room. Yes, we are ready to get started. Welcome to our Wealth on Wednesdays webinars in the Black webinar series. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in a new month. We're in the month of July. And so we want to welcome everyone who is here for the first time. We want to let you know that we have been having these Wednesday webinars throughout the entire pandemic. And it's just been a blessing. We've been able to talk about several subjects. We've been able to really unpack a lot of the things that people were facing, but also how to do things better with our money. And so we want to make sure that you continue to hang out with us. To those of you who are returning, hello, welcome back. It's good to see you again. So we're in a new month, and July is Family Planning Month. And so it's family reunion time, and we want to come together with purpose in mind. We want to come together with purpose in mind. And so we're here today talking about it's a family affair. And we're going to introduce you to our dfree global family. But before we get started, we do have some housekeeping rules that we want to make sure everyone knows about. First of all, if you have a question, please make sure that you put it in the chat. Feel free to put it in the chat. The Q&A feature is there. We'll do our best to address them throughout this webinar. Second, the chat feature is open for you to engage and chat with one another. If you have a question that you think will benefit the entire group, then we want to encourage you to make sure you put that in the chat so that we can be able to address it as well. If your questions are specific to your own situation, there will be opportunities after this webinar for you to be able to ask those questions. This webinar will be recorded and shared with attendees. So if someone misses this webinar, be sure to let them know that you have their back and you'll share it with them. Just as a reminder, at the close of the webinar, there will be a short survey. Please provide your feedback. It is valuable to us. It helps us to better serve you. So please make sure you fill that in as well. Today promises to be a robust presentation. So we want to make sure you get all of the dribs and drabs and gems that are going to be dropped. So we want to make sure that you are in the building. So pay attention, feel free to share. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others, none other than our Executive Director, Tamika N. Stenbridge, Esquire, and our Deputy Director, Janiyah Lake, and they will introduce today's special guest.
Excellent. Thank you, Shonda, and welcome everyone to Wealth on Wednesday. I'm really excited to be with you all. It feels like it's been a long time, but I guess it's because we missed Monday Night Live because of the holiday. So I feel like I haven't talked to people in a long time, but I'm really excited about today's presentation. It's a little different than what we've been doing over the last few weeks, but I think it's a very, very welcomed break. Janiyah, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I think I'm like you, kind of a little like, wait, because we didn't have Monday Night Live and we had, the holiday weekend from our D9 course. So I feel like I'm a little like, oh, okay, rusty. And it's just,
Yeah.
just
No, but we have some amazing guests today. And so hopefully the conversation will be robust and we won't feel rusty. I want to again welcome our new attendees. I see we have at least one new person from Delaware. Hi, Ange. I'm here in Philly, so not too far from you. Wanted to welcome you all. If you're a returning dfree guest, we welcome you back. Hopefully you had an amazing holiday weekend, however you celebrated the extended version of Juneteenth. That's what I'm just going to call it at this point, because now we are in the know, and so we know what to celebrate when. But today's session is really exciting and kind of near and dear to my heart. We have a global team. We're called the dfree Global Foundation, and it's not lost on us or Dr. Soaries to have been intentional by giving the organization that name. And we're privileged to actually have team members, based all over the globe, in fact. And so we're going to be joined by our first special guest, Miss Angela Dadson, coming to us live from Ghana. How are you, Ange?
I am great, and I'm happy to be here. I'm always here, by the way, but it's nice to be in the spotlight today and to be able to share a little bit about dfree Africa.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us, what do you do for dfree? You do a lot, but what do you do for dfree? Like, what's your role, your official role?
So, yeah, my core role for dfree is leading or managing the dfree Academy engagement. So every activity surrounding our online academy, or if you're even teaching dfree in person, you need any support, I'm there to help you. So I manage that department in dfree. But we also have our dfree Africa branch, and I lead the team that comprises the dfree Africa.
So what does that mean? Like, what does it mean to lead the dfree Africa team? Like, tell us about who's there, what's happening, what's unique about the dfree Africa group.
Absolutely. So, like you said, the work that I do for dfree is extensive, and I wouldn't be able to do all that I do without the support of the great team that supports me. The bulk of my team lives here in Ghana with me, but dfree has is spreading all over the continent. We have a great presence in Ghana, but we also have a vibrant community in South Africa, and that is led by a power couple duo that you're going to meet in a minute. So the team is extensive. There's about 15 people in Ghana that supports the work of dfree across the globe. They don't just work on dfree Ghana, but they also work on dfree Global. So we're touching people everywhere in the world, and our own lives are being impacted as well. And I will be more than pleased to introduce the team now.
Excellent.
While they're doing that, pulling this up, you'll get an opportunity to meet the team. But for those of you that have ever talked to, like you called our 844 line, or someone's responding to your info at my dfree email and getting you connected with the team, these are the folks that are serving you, helping us to extend dfree, serving communities, organizations. So they're our backbone. They're our backbone so that we're able to do the work that we do.
All right, let's meet the team.
Molweni dfree family, this is Landi and this is my husband Mali. We are the dfree ambassadors in South Africa. We're also very passionate about the economic emancipation of the Black person post-apartheid South Africa.
So the tools that we learn from dfree, and you pick the one and you attack it, and we did that, and slowly. And today we can testify that, of the three, we have 4 big banks in SA. I think we're indebted to 3 of them. And we've since closed all of that debt and cut up all those credit cards. And, we've become better people.
We're very, very passionate about the work that we do. We believe it's a lifelong commitment for us, and we are sold out to a lifestyle of dfree living.
Hi everyone, my name is Simon Winloya Langbe. I work for dfree Global Foundation, and I'm based here in Ghana. So yes, I support dfree's digital marketing and analytics. I provide insights about the strategy for leading dfree's marketing using the digital channels and ecosystem, from setting the right strategy that focuses on the demographics that are relevant to dfree Global Foundation, to also measuring the impact that we create using the digital channels.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh, your dfree Online Academy Success Liaison. So just know that anytime you send a question to the dfree Academy experts or info at dfree, I'm the one that responds to it. And all I'll say is I've really learned a lot as I joined dfree. It's close to 1 year now, and I've learned a lot. So I encourage everybody to be part of this great family, because there are principles that I never knew till I joined dfree, and I'm really happy to be part of this family, and I appreciate this great opportunity. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Gifty, and I work with dfree through Dr. Soris. I help with the organization of the Wednesday webinar, Wealth on Wednesdays. And so far, the journey has been amazing. And dfree has really taught me a lot in terms of how I manage my finance. It's been close to a year now, and I can say it has been amazing and interesting all throughout.
Hi everyone, I'm Max and I am part of the dfree engagement team. So a lot of times whenever you're getting follow-ups from webinars, you request more information, that's me. You may have seen my name in the email once or twice. And I've been part of the dfree team on and off for about 2 years. And throughout all my time here, I just keep learning more and more of how to apply dfree to my own life. And it's just great to be able to know that what I'm doing is helping people achieve financial freedom as well. So thank you for letting me get to be a part of that.
I bet you didn't know our team was that big. Globally, Ghana. I'm calling Angie Ghana like you are the country. Angie is Ghana for us. Thank you so much for exposing us to such an amazing group of young people. One, how did you connect with dfree and how did you work to grow such a big team? Tell us about kind of your dfree connection.
The dfree connection was quite unexpected. I met Dr. Soares back in 2007 when he made his first visit to Ghana. In 2009, he returned by himself, looking at investment opportunities, community connections, which is what Dr. Soares always does, in his quest to spread the good news across the globe. And in this case, not just the good news about Christ, but also the good news about financial freedom. That is how I became connected to dfree. Informally, I joined the dfree Foundation itself in 2013, 2014, and officially 2015. Now, as the foundation grew and as we were connecting with more people, we realized that a good opportunity to give the younger generation over here the exposure that they need would be to connect them through this foundation. While they bring support to people that need support, they also gain insights. And one of the biggest things that each of my staff can tell you is, it's not just about the job for them. Everyone is getting impacted by dfree itself. Everyone has an experience, a testimony to share that in the process of helping people through dfree, providing customer service, sometimes just doing back-end work, cleaning up data, they are learning dfree, because I make everybody read the book, by the way. So, everyone is impacted by dfree. And that is how these youth come to me. I try to give opportunities to mostly college students, because usually finding a part-time job when in college is challenging here. And then we have easy work and flexible hours that they can do. And that is how we connect. But very often when they graduate, we stay connected. They keep on coming back, volunteering to do dfree work, or just anything at all that they can contribute to the process. That's how the connection works.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I say that kind of lends to us even talking about dfree work in, as you mentioned, in Ghana and South Africa. And I've had the privilege to connect with your team so many times as we look expanding and bringing academy resources and bringing $1 Billion Challenge. Even though we know, well, I think we'll talk a little bit about kind of some of the money differences and stuff, but I think you have something to show just some of Dr. Sori's and dfree work in what we're doing there too. You guys get some kind of cool videos today.
Absolutely. That is another thing that excites me, that even while we're bringing financial freedom to Africans, the financial situation is completely different from country to country in Africa. South Africa was able to just take the dfree model as it is and introduce it in South Africa because the financial system and the debt system is pretty much the same as it is in the US. While Ghanaians are not exposed to credit cards and what comes up to that, it doesn't mean we don't have other lines of credit that people tend to exploit. It doesn't mean we can't learn about creating wealth. So a lot of the activities that Dr. Sori's and dfree has done in Africa is about wealth creation and is about financial freedom. But most critically, as you will see in the next video that we show, it goes way beyond that. It's about connecting with communities. It is about changing and impacting lives. It's about leaving a mark everywhere that dfree goes. So we have a beautiful video. This was a tribute to Dr. Sori's on his 30th anniversary as pastor of First Baptist, and it will be a privilege to share it with our audience today.
Excellent. Roll film. And while we're queuing up the video, I just want to let our audience know, you guys are getting kind of an inside peek into all of the work that we've done in dfree Africa. I think we introduced the team towards the end of last year, but this is really a unique opportunity to see the full breadth of all the work that Dr. Sori's is doing and the team is doing in Africa, on the continent, across the continent. And so I hope you guys, if you have questions about the African experience, if you're considering going, we would love to be able to connect with you and answer some questions as we go through. But I think we're ready.
And while we're waiting for the video, I could add that Dr. Sori's was installed as a chief in the Royal Achim Kingdom in Ghana back in 2017, which marked his 10th anniversary visit to Ghana. He has been coming to Ghana every year since 2007. And so his installment as a chief was no small feat. It was a big cause for celebration. It's not a title that is bestowed lightly on anyone, but it was bestowed on him by virtue of his contribution to development in that part of the country. The king of the Royal Achim Kingdom bestowed on him a title, which is Nkosua, and it means the chief of development. This is the voice of dfree Africa. And these are the faces. The places. The experiences. The impact. And the lives that we are changing. Welcome to our world. dfree Africa was born out of one man's quest to teach and instill in all people of African descent, including the indigenous African, a mindset of debt elimination and wealth creation, leading to self-sufficiency, independence, and improved standards of living. The Reverend Dr. DeForest B. Soris Jr., Senior Pastor of FBCLG and founder of the dfree Global Foundation, first visited Africa to speak at the Youth for Christ conference in Johannesburg, South Africa. He has since returned many times to different countries on the continent in a quest to forge connections with the people and support their economic, social, and spiritual growth. The dfree financial freedom movement was introduced in Africa when a young woman lent her copy of the book, Breaking Free from Financial Slavery, to her friend. So a few years ago, I gave Mark here a copy of this book, dfree, Breaking Free from Financial Slavery. This is the original book that was recently replaced with Say Yes to No Debt. How did this book impact you and what made you start that club?
Well, looking back, I only had to read a few chapters and it struck a responsive chord. I knew I held in my hands principles that, if employed, would free me from a personal financial problem. And beyond that, I had friends who I knew it could help, sharing these principles with them. And so I had to just start. We would meet every day after work, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Accra Mall, and we would just have a discussion and on and on. The impact started with me. And as I brought my group into the picture, each person made decisions to be debt-free, deficit-free, delinquency-free, and that was how we took off. It was exciting to meet Dr. Soris. The first day I met him at the airport, I was elated. It was the first time reading somebody's book and meeting the person. It has been a great experience, meeting new people, sharing ideas, interacting with new cultures. It was baby steps, but it started to make impact because people started inviting others to come and join. dfree has a great future in Africa, in Ghana. We only have to put a few structures right, and I think we will do good.
dfree is also quite active in South Africa, with plans in place for expanding into other countries, including Botswana, Uganda, and Zambia. In Africa, dfree is not only about the financial freedom movement, it is also about making community connections. With the support of several institutions and individuals, great strides have been made to connect with many communities and people of diverse walks of life to undertake impactful projects and programs in some African countries. In 2007, Dr. Soris made his first of many visits to West Africa at the invitation of the Ghana Baptist Convention, where he and his team connected with religious leaders as well as statesmen. His host on that occasion and every visit since was His Majesty Osagyefo Amoatio Foripeni, the Ochehene, ruler of the Royal Achim Ibwakwa Kingdom of Ghana. Dr. Soris has been to several African countries, including Liberia, where he held council with leaders of the Baptist Church, and the vice president of the country at the time honored him with a double state pen and made him a chief. He paid a courtesy call on Kogosi Kogolo Mosadi Siboko, who is the paramount chief of the Balete people of southern Botswana, the first woman to hold this title in the country's history. A principled leader, she fights the cause of women and children, helping to liberate them from abusive circumstances and empowering them with skills development. Through her, a relationship was established with the Botswana Stock Exchange to introduce the dfree program. Dr. Soris was also in Uganda, where he was the guest of His Highness Bishop John Wayabire, King of the Bugwera Kingdom, and the first known African traditional ruler, who is also the bishop of a Christian church. At the 5th coronation anniversary of His Highness Wayabire, Dr. Soris had the opportunity to meet the president of the country and hold counsel with the members of the community. In 2017, Dr. Soris was installed a chief by His Majesty Osagyefo to mark the 10th anniversary of Dr. Soris's first visit to Ghana, and in recognition of his support for development in the region. dfree Global Tours visits Ghana each year, presenting tour participants with 4 important elements: a historical expedition, cultural immersion, tourism, and community outreach. dfree, with the support and commitment of several organizations, institutions, and individuals who join the tour annually or simply donate towards various courses, has undertaken several community-based projects, such as providing school supplies for the Street Academy, building a playground and cafeteria for the Accra Community School, providing financial support to Shalom Baptist Church towards their church building, establishing a community library for children, and supporting the construction of an infirmary for the Kibi School for the Deaf in collaboration with the Peace Corps. Several other projects are currently ongoing. Here are ways you can become a part of the dfree Africa mission. Join a tour and get the experience of a lifetime. Adopt a child and support their education, or simply volunteer to help people in various ways. Contact dfree today to find out how you can contribute towards providing clean drinking water for communities, empowering women by providing them capital to engage in small-scale businesses, or providing books to enhance learning.
I believe that it's critical for the entire world to understand that Africa not only has a rich past, but Africa has a vibrant present where cultural leaders are making an impact on young people, on women, on the economy, and thus Africa has a bright future, not only because of democratic reform, but because of the depth of cultural strength that exists through royalty, chieftaincy, and through the commitment people have to these cultural leaders.
Wow, 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 wow. I wish we could round of applause. Did anybody enjoy that video? Was it a good video? Really enlightening.
Get all emotional all over again.
I know it really does. It puts a different perspective on the work that we do here in dfree, because it is, while so many topics are similar, the cultural piece of it is just, hard to fully grasp here. And I think, the ability to be able to connect back with our roots, for lack of a better word, is really something special. And so I'm just thankful that we have that opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit about, the president announced the right of abode for all Africans in the diaspora. Was this a call to action? Can we all move back? Can we get dual citizenship? What does this mean for us?
It means all of that, Tamika. So in 2007, the president announced the year of return. That was the first thing he announced, the year of return. That was going to be marked in 2019, and then it was going to be continued from that time. What the year of return represented, 2019 marked 400-year anniversary since the first transatlantic crossing of the first slaves into North America. And he marked that year, the 400th year, as the day or the year or the period that anyone of African descent, anyone that is African in the diaspora, has the opportunity to return home. Ghana welcomes you. The doors are open. The right of abode simply indicates you just need to get a visa to travel to Ghana. Once you get there, it doesn't matter if your visa runs out. You're welcome to stay. The visa is only to help you travel. It's not required for you to stay and live. And once you live here for a period of time as an upstanding citizen, as an upstanding resident, you get to become a citizen. So in that same year, 2019, when we marked the year of return, we had millions of Africans from the diaspora flood to the country that year alone. And in that
Oh no, I think we may be losing our connection, but we'll give Ange a second to come back. There we go.
all them citizens in a special ceremony. So that was what the year of return was about, and that's what the right of abode is about. Everyone is welcome. The doors are open.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So anybody moving back? Anybody going to take the trip? Speaking of which, we do offer the opportunity to go. I don't know if you can go and stay when you go on the dfree trip, but you might be so inspired to pack a bigger suitcase and take an extended trip. So, with the world opening back up and things starting to happen, the trip is happening again. And so you want to tell us a little bit about the Ghana tours? We're excited for it to reopen. I know last year was a tough year for everyone, but we're ready to make the journey again.
We sure are. Reverend Gibson, who is at First Baptist Church, has been a great supporter and a great coordinator of our dfree global tours since it resumed in 2016. And of course, last year and this year, we took a break because of COVID. We're excited to announce in 2022, we're hosting 3 tours. dfree hosts these tours on an annual basis. So next year, there's going to be 3 different tours in March, in July, and October. Now, we have very limited spaces because naturally we're cutting back on numbers to make it as safe as possible for everyone traveling. So if this interests people, my recommendation is book your ticket right now. But even before we go deep into that, we would also like to show you something little about our tours, what they usually focus on, and then see if we have questions that we can respond to. So we have another video, a much shorter video. It's just about 2 minutes, and it will tell you about our dfree global tours to Ghana.
The trip to Ghana was an amazing experience. I always wanted to travel to the motherland to see where our ancestors originated.
We had the best time ever, from visiting the king to going to the slave castles.
The memories and experiences that I had during that time of travel are unforgettable. The food, the music, the culture, it was like an awakening.
Angie and her team are so phenomenal in planning and making sure that everything is moving smoothly. I can 100% guarantee that you will have the most life-changing experience, just like I did. Hope to see you there.
Beyond the return. I love it. I love it. I love it. Janiyah, I'm like you. I want to go on all 3 tours, but that means I probably won't be working all year long because I'll be packing, trying to get back and forth.
Right. You know, I've been trying to
Oh,
figure
you could
out
just live here.
I mean, that could work for a year. I could do that.
Yep.
I could do that. Aaron
Yep,
might
you could
enjoy
just live here and work from here.
that. That would actually duly noted. I mean, you said that, it's recorded. You guys heard it here first. Tamika is going to Ghana for a year to do a remote year for dfree. Excellent. So we do have a few questions in the chat about the tour, and while we get ready to go through those, I believe we have 2 guests that are going to be joining us, one of which is available now. You know, I asked in the chat whether or not people had actually gone on any of the dfree tours, and we actually have 2 guests that have been on. But you want to, Ange, if you want to expand a little bit, we have some questions while we wait for Miss Kathy and Michelle to come. Let's see. Is there a website available for the tours so far?
firststeptours.com/dfree. I'll put that in the chat if that helps. firststeptours.com/dfree.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And let's see. We got the website. Folks are concerned. Can you explain a little bit the difference between the three tours? So I saw that there are three things that are going to be highlighted for each.
Absolutely.
Can you expand on that?
Yep. So the dfree tours focus on 4 critical areas. The historical expedition is so important because we're not bringing Africans from the diaspora to Africa and not show you your history. That is critical, and it runs through all 3 tours. You will get the same experience. The cultural immersion is what may differ depending on which tour that you pick and where that tour is going. The tourism also differs, again, depending on the area and depending on the tours. And I'll talk about the 3 tours. The 4th thing that we focus every tour on is the community outreach. As I said before, dfree prides ourselves in making an impact, leaving a mark everywhere we go. And that's why we're able to show you some of the things that we have done in the past. Every single person that has been on a previous tour has contributed in one way or other to all of at least one of the projects that we listed or that we showed in these videos. So those community outreach programs also run through all of them. Now, the individual tours are this way. In March, we're going to the Volta region. Ghana has 16 different regions. The Volta region gets its name from one of the largest and most beautiful rivers that runs through Africa. After the Nile, the most popular is the Volta, and the Volta River runs right through that region. So we're staying at a beautiful river resort. We're going to get connected to nature. We're going to learn different cultural practices of the people of the Volta region, which is where my mother comes from. So I'm quite proud to show that area off. But we will also get to meet with the king. That is such an important part of all our tours. And that is something you will not get on any tour, I can assure you, because we have a personal relationship, a personal and direct connection with this royal family that Dr. Soris is actually a part of right now as chief of that traditional kingdom. So every one of those tours get to meet the king. We also visit the slave castles as part of the historical pilgrimage that I talked about. In July, the biggest highlight would be to celebrate your 4th of July, but do it in the Ghana style, because we do have a very vibrant community of Americans and who live right here in Ghana, especially in our capital, Accra, and they have their own special way that they celebrate 4th of July. A lot of them have naturalized and taken Ghanaian citizenship, but it doesn't negate the fact that they were originally American. So we still celebrate that, and we all come together. In July, we're staying at a beautiful oceanfront resort where we're going to connect with a community there, which is a fishing community. So we'll be able to connect with them, understand their way of life, and get involved. We can go fishing with them if we want to go fishing with them. Again, we get to visit the slave castles. We get to visit the king. That is a given. And then we're going to have community outreach in July as well. October has become like our flagship tour because dfree's first ever visit to Ghana was in October. Several years after that, the tours were always in October, but we've had several tours in July and a couple in March as well, so they're not new. In October, we will be celebrating Dr. Soris' 5th anniversary as a chief. He was installed a chief in October of 2017, so next year, October is going to be 5-year anniversary, and we will have the opportunity to experience a Durbar, a traditional Durbar, where we honor our chiefs on their anniversaries or special occasions. So that's going to be the highlight. Again, in October, we're staying in beautiful locations. We're getting the expedition to the castles. We're meeting with the king, of course, and we have a community outreach program in that. The tours are 10 days each, including travel days will be 12 days, but each tour is 10 days in Ghana. So that's it about the 3 main tours. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, it looks like we have our guests. So who better to tell us about the tour experience than 2 of our own team members who've actually participated on the tours. Welcome, Miss Catherine Taylor and Michelle Charles. How are you, ladies?
I'm awesome. How are you all?
We are good. We are good. You guys have on your garb. Miss Kathy, I love your necklace. And Michelle, your wrap. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I guess we'll dive right in. Tell us when you actually went to Ghana and what was your most memorable moment of the trip? Either one of you can start.
So for me, I went in 2017. And because of that year, Pastor Soares was installed as a chief. That was just the most memorable moment for me. It was so exciting, but yet so enriching to see how Ghana really carries out their culture and how they celebrate their festivities, but yet take it so seriously. To be able to sit in the royal palace with the king and the queen, and Queen Mother, and be able to speak with them and just learn their culture was so memorable to me. It was like none other. It was an experience that I can't even imagine experiencing anywhere else. And they were so welcoming and warm and hospitable to let and bring us into their culture and have us to be a part of it. And that was a very exciting moment for me.
Excellent. Michelle, how about you?
I went in 2019, so I'm glad that I got to go before the 2021 got canceled. So there's so many parts of the trip that are just memorable. I mean, if I had to pick like my top 3, I would say our last night there, we went to this wonderful like send-off party at the King's brother's house, right? Okay, yes, and it was, oh my goodness, it was beautiful. The house was beautiful, the decorations were beautiful, they were live performances, the food was flowing, the drinks were flowing, it was awesome. Everyone was dancing, it was lively. It was an awesome experience. Another thing that was like memorable to me / kind of stood out is that like I was in a place where everybody looked like me, which is something I never really thought about before until I went there and realized, oh wow, in most places you go, you're kind of, you're the minority. And it was actually really, it was really eye-opening for me just to see my people everywhere on the billboards, they're, walking, all along on the streets, on the TVs, everywhere. You just see beautiful Black people. And that was an awesome experience. And then also another thing, when we went, there was an opening of a library for the kids, and that was really nice. I didn't get to experience, the trip that you went on, Miss Kathy, to see that part, but we got some of it by going to the library opening event, and it was just really, it was just awesome. It was an awesome experience. I can't wait to
No fair, Michelle. I tried to stay within guidelines and too, and you just got them all in. I do agree. There are so many experiences. It's hard just to pick one. It's hard to pick one because you experience so much, and it's just life-changing once you go there.
What's something that was most unexpected? So Michelle, you said seeing, our people everywhere. Yeah. What was something else that was kind of unexpected about the trip?
I would say it really put into perspective for me how large the continent of Africa is, because I feel like that's something that's a little misconstrued in as far as what we're taught, in America, and kind of the way they portray it. Because I'm just thinking, like, there were some days that we were traveling on the bus, we were on the bus for 3 hours, and we were still just within Ghana, just going to another part. And I'm like, I could drive 3 hours and be in 2 different states, here. So that was something that definitely came to my mind, was just the vastness of how large Ghana is in the entire continent of Africa, for sure.
That's so true, because it's so interesting you said that, Michelle, because that's very true. And another thing, the aha moment was, don't look at TV and think you know what's in another country, because you set up these expectations when you get there. It's, oh, and I'm going to be honest, I was fearful to go because I wasn't sure what to expect. And I'm like, am I going to be safe? Am I going to be okay? But going into a country, as Michelle said, where we're all the same and you're treated the same, was just like, oh my God, this is not what I expected.
That's so, every time, whether I watch a video or just even talk to Ange and the team, I'm always on a new mission of like, can I go work over here for a little while? Can I go work over here for a little while? So I know I've been trying to work on this, so I feel like all year. I'm so excited about the tours and such. I think one of the things that's super exciting is as we think about travel and opening back up, and I think of like our ambassadors and people that are really getting connected to dfree and how do we share. I think this is just an exciting opportunity to see the vast work that dfree does. And as an ambassador, I know people are on that are ambassadors. I see you guys on there. This is just another opportunity of seeing kind of some of the exciting, I guess, arms and legs of dfree and some of the work that we're doing and connecting our communities together. So hearing your all's trips and that connectivity to our dfree our team over there, and then the different works that we're doing, this just gets me all hype and excited. So I'm sure our ambassadors are.
It's so true, Janaya and Tamika. When I went to Ghana, I was not employed by dfree. But now that I'm employed, it makes me so proud, and I could almost get emotional to know that we're making a difference and that we're impacting, and helping them as well. To see the projects that each tour group does. When you go, you see the year before's team, what they've done. When I was there, we cut the ribbon for the playground for the cross school. And then our project was to build farmhouse for them. So to know that we're making such a difference and helping others, and we're also teaching and thinking of finances and even using our own, it has helped me to even look at what can I do with my finances differently, even to contribute and be not only employee of dfree, but also help with the projects that are going on in Ghana.
Excellent. And I have to ask, what's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about Africa in general, based on your experience?
I feel like I need a second to kind of, I've gotten so emotional just listening to Michelle and Miss Kathy talking about the Ghana experiences. But yes, it puts a lot into perspective when I'm just listening to Michelle say that the most impactful thing was seeing people of her own color, her own people all around her. And, we live in this space, and those are some of the things that we take for granted every day, because this is all I've ever known. I've lived in different places in Africa, different places in Europe. I've visited the US so many times, but this is home. This is where I always come back to. And so I wake up every day just taking it as, just another regular day, until you realize what a difference it is to somebody else. And then you come to appreciate it more. So thank you, both ladies, for sharing those experiences. To your question, Tamika, one of the biggest misconceptions that I have come to probably hear or see over the years on my travel, this has not been mostly with people who have come on my tour, because I feel like they take the time to do research once they decide to travel. But when I travel and I meet people, and especially Americans, the biggest misconception that I have encountered has been the thought that Africa is just one country. A lot of people think I'm going to Africa. It's just one place, one destination. There are over 50 different
It's going to come back. She's going to
dialects. So It is pretty exciting. Different cultures that you'll be exposed to, different traditions, different people, different lifestyles, the different foods we eat, and the different clothes and that we wear. So it's not Ghana. Ghana is not your only destination. It's the whole continent. You can go to South Africa, Botswana, Uganda. I was blown away when I visited Uganda for the first time in 2019.
Oh no, we lost the audio. We can't hear you.
Egypt? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it better
Okay.
now?
So now you got to tell us
Okay,
about
good.
Botswana, because now I need to know. So you got to say it again.
Uganda. I went to Uganda in 2019. It was so exciting and eye-opening for me that I went back 2 months later. And one of the biggest things I discovered in Uganda was about the River Nile. We all attribute the River Nile to Egypt and the story of Moses. The River Nile has its source in Uganda, and I had not known that.
Wow.
So that is something new we learn every day about different parts of this continent. So I like to tell people, take the opportunity that comes your way and travel and go to Africa. Ghana is a gateway. We welcome you. You can start from here. We have this tour that you can use as your first stepping stone, but don't stop there. Explore other countries. Nigeria. They are 3 neighbors away from us, and yet we have so much in common than we do with other countries. And so, yes, these tours are planned for you. These tours are meant to be exciting, but they will take you down a journey that, you will not too soon, if ever, forget. And I like to say that Reverend Gibson, I believe she's on the webinar today, but Reverend Gibson is always my yardstick when I put my tour itineraries together. And that's because Reverend Gibson has been on every tour every year since 2007. So mind you, I have to make sure there is an element of surprise, something different in every tour just for Reverend Gibson. But you see, if I use her as my yardstick, then I know that every returning visitor, and I have so many people that return on the tours, but every returning visitor will get a new and special experience that they haven't had before.
Reverend Gibson, you're going to be on part 2 of our dfree Ghana expedition, because now I know that you've been on every single trip.
She has.
I won't put you on the spot today, but you're coming back. We're coming for you. I need to hear your testimony. So ladies, as we start winding down the webinar, if you could give our audience, 1 minute or less, why they should even consider taking the tour, what would you say to them?
I would say that it is something you will experience that you've never experienced in your life, and just to experience where our ancestors has come from. And I just want to say, Angie is the best tour guide ever. She makes you feel at home. But the most exciting thing was every day she would get on our tour bus and would say, "Did you know?" And when she said that, we knew we were going to learn something different about Ghana. She is the one to take you on a tour. Thank you, Anne.
I agree with that 1,000%. I think it was just literally like a life-changing experience. Just the day that we went to the slave castles, like that day, if we did nothing else but just that my trip would have still been made, because it was such an emotional experience. Like, you read about all the horrible things that were done, and you see things, but to actually be there and be in that presence, it's like the most, it's eerie almost. It's like this silence that's there, and like you hear the waves as they're just crashing along, and it's just your mind is just thinking about just all of these horrible things that our people have been through. And it's really just it really just begs the question of like, how can people really even be this cruel to even have ever done that to other human beings? Like, it was, I cried when we went. It was just, it's I'm getting emotional just thinking about it now, because it really is just like, it's something you can't explain. And I just think it's something that all people, not even just, especially Black people, but I just think all people need to go to these places to experience just that. Like that literally just made my trip, along with everything else too. But that was an experience that is something I can't even put into words. It's, you really just have to go there to witness being in that space. And Ange is top notch. She is absolutely top notch. She has everything down to a T. She made sure that everything was exciting. She had our words of the day that we had to try to remember and work on pronouncing them. And we went to all these beautiful locations and we ate. And I'm a foodie, so I was eating every single thing, and it was awesome. It was an amazing experience. I'm excited to go back. I'm hoping I can go on all 3 next year. I'm gonna see, but we'll see.
Excellent.
I know we have a couple things to close out and a few questions. So I think we have a poll. If you're interested in more info about any of these, we can make sure we get connected with you. So I think the poll is coming up that you can do if you are interested. So you visited. We would love to know if you visited before, you are interested, you're thinking about moving there. You'd like to be contacted and get more information about the tours, or you're just not interested in traveling in this moment. So you can just let us know if there's any follow-up that you would like from us. Additionally, I think there's a couple really great questions that I want to make sure we get to before we end out. Somebody did mention also in the comments that this is something that they can set as a dfree goal. Yep. So it looks like they're using dfree. This is a great opportunity to, if this is something that's on your list that you would like to do, this is use your $1 billion challenge, set up your savings goal, and start to save for this. But you can get more information in the link. And we see the poll here of people that are interested or have visited. That's Tamika that she thought about moving there.
I couldn't even take the poll, so I do have somebody that's with me in unison, and so you have 2 potential citizens making their way. Set up your savings goals in BDC. I think that's a great way to kind of cap off your dfree experience and a way to save for it. One of the good questions that we got was, what is the weather like in July versus October? Because I know you guys are kind of opposite of us.
Yeah, well, in Ghana, it's summer every day, 365 days in a year. Our heavy rain months, the coldest season in the year is actually June. So we've just come out of that period, and it only gets as cold as about 75 degrees. That's the coldest it ever gets around here. And October is pretty warm as well. So normally on our monthly conference calls, and we have a call every month leading up to our tours, we will explain about what to pack, what shoes, what clothing, all of that. The final thing that I wanted to close out with is that on one of the tours, I had someone ask me, what do Ghanaians or what do Africans think about African Americans? It took me 2 years to actually understand that question. So even though I answered her on the day, it took me 2 years to understand that question after engaging with other people who said to me that growing up as African Americans, they are made to believe that Africans hated you. And that's why Africans sold you into slavery. I planned these tours as one of my key goals to show everybody that is the biggest untruth, that African Americans can ever be fed, or Africans in the diaspora can ever be fed. Because when you come to Ghana, you will see just how much people love you and want you here.
Excellent. I can't think of a better way to end or at least pause our conversation around Ghana. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing your experience, and thank you so much for your global leadership. Kathy is also one of our engagement managers on our team, and Michelle supports Dr. Sories and runs our CCCI brand operations. So I want to thank you ladies for sharing your experience. Today has been a lot. We have 1 minute left, so I'm going to turn it over to our host, Reverend Shonda, who tried to hide her African garb today and only be on camera for 1 minute, but you got it. It's all yours. And thank you, Janiyah, always.
Thank you. Thank you so much to this team. Thank you, Angela. We thank you so much. We thank you for our dfree Global team We just appreciate you so much. And everyone in the chat, yes, this is something to be excited about. So we're going to go ahead and just share just some closing remarks and some closing information. We want to be D-free with our time as well. And so if you look here, we're celebrating with the $1 billion
It's 1
challenge.
o'clock.
Uh-oh, that's our alarm. We're celebrating with the $1 billion challenge. We're at $30,895,050, and we are excited about it. So we want to make sure that if you are contributing, we have something to celebrate. We're almost at 31. So keep going, keep going. Let's pay off this debt. This is a debt paid off today. We also want to make sure that you know that if you're interested in being a part of this Ghanaian trip, please be sure to reach out to Angela Dadson and Reverend Sheila Gibson. We love you and thank you for joining us today. The contact info is ghana@mydfree.org, or you can call 240-200-7053. You'll get that information again. The first tour, we want to remind you, is March 1st through the 12th of 2022. Again, there's the information as well as the website. So please take a screenshot right now if you're interested in the March tour. Next up, the June through July tour. You want to make sure that's June 28th through July 9th. That is just an exciting trip as well. Take a screenshot. Last but not least, October 4th through the 15th. This is the flagship tour, Wildlife Safari. Please take a screenshot. Again, the information is the same, ghana@mydfree.org. The telephone number is 240-200-7053. And the website is listed there below. Please make sure. We also want to remind everyone that the Divine 9 course returns on Saturday, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also want to remind you that on Monday Night Live, Monday, 7/12, we return to Monday Night Live. We took off for the holiday, so we want to make sure that you show up and we see you at Monday Night Live. Engagement Hour returns on Thursday, July 15th, 2021. We'd like to see you there at 7 p.m. Reminder for this webinar series, we'll be back next week. The next session is 7/14, same time, same station. And coming soon, we have a Faith and Finance course, which will be launching on July 29th. And we want to make sure that you and your church leaders are involved. If you have any questions for us or you'd like to reach us, you can join us at info@mydfree.org. Our telephone number is 844.mydfree or 693-3733. You can also join our private Facebook page. We share lots of information there. That's D-Free Training and Engagement. It's private, it's a closed group, so we can be transparent there. Again, special thank you to Angela Dadson, as well as our entire D-Free Africa team. We thank you so much. And please don't forget to fill out the survey at the close of this webinar. Have a wonderful day.
Excellent. And Faith and Finance registration opens up soon. So stay tuned. It's coming. It's coming. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.